What's good, guys? Julian here, and I know the markets have been crazy lately, so that's the reason why I wanted to record this video to actually go through what I see in the markets right now. And guys, this is going to be a no edits video because I was actually quite busy, so I don't have time to edit it. But I want to do this for you guys. All right, so you guys are ready? Let's get into it.
Now, if you like videos like this, I'm going to give you 5 seconds. Help me out by clicking subscribe and also commenting more so that I can produce more videos like this for you guys. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Without further ado, let's get back into the video.
Let's look at the SPY or the S&P 500. You can see that last week, the last 3 days especially, was quite bearish for SPY. It actually plunged quite a bit. I would say it plunged by 2%, almost 3%, right? So the good thing is that if you look at the weekly ended up positive, it ended up bullish. And it looks like it's still playing between this level of support and resistance, this level here, and also this level right here. And as long as it stays between it this way, it seems like SPY is still good to go. But if this area here breaks down here, I would say that there's a chance that SPY may go lower onto the bottom. But until then, I would say that there's still not too much to worry about for the SPY. Next, let's look at individual stocks. I'm going to look at Apple first. Apple actually had a great push up in the last 2 weeks, especially the last few days. And we know that there's earnings that actually happen as well. Good news for Apple fans. You can see right here after earnings, price decided to shoot up, which is a good sign. However, right now it's back at the resistance right here, and you gotta take note that whenever there's going to be price pushing up, there's also going to be likelihood of people taking profits. So if this area doesn't break, I foresee that Apple may have a chance to go back down because again, people taking profits. Just like what happened to Meta as well. After earnings, price push all the way up, right up to here. If you go and look at the daily, you can see right here. This is earnings. Price shot up to this area right here, and therefore people started taking earnings because some of them actually bought way lower right here. So it's just natural, right? It's just normal, especially after good results. People want to take earnings. That's why it kind of retraced down, right? For Meta, what I'm seeing is that if Meta comes back down to this area and pushes off this area right here, it's still good because this is actually a resistance. After a breakout, it becomes a support. So this is natural for it to come back down to this area. But if this area does not hold and if it breaks lower, I would say that there's chance for Meta to go down even further than before. However, this breakout buy is actually a good sign for now, as long as it kind of holds. This area here, if you guys have been following me as well, is also an SRR, new R. So therefore, I would say this is a good area for chance for price to hit back upwards. Let's also have a look at Google. You can see that Google also kind of scary last week. This was a huge bearish candle. Let's have a look how much it kind of fall, about almost 12%. If you look at it from the daily perspective, you can see the drop, massive drop right here, boom, and then this pushed up again. So this was really good, and we want to see that this area still continues to hold, because if it does, then we can see that Google can continue its way back up. Next, let's look at Microsoft. Microsoft has been taking a serious beating. You can see right here, plunging all the way down here. From the top, I would say it's about a 29% dip. However, right now, okay, we can see that the reason why it kind of dip is because, I mean, from the technical perspective, there's a huge gap here. So Microsoft is kind of filling up this gap. Right now, also notice that there is a gap right here. So there is a possibility of it coming back up, filling this gap before deciding on whether to go up or go down. Likely it would go down from there for a bit. And if it does have enough buying power, it can push up. Now, one of the reasons why it dropped all the way here and began pushing up, I mean, again, this is something that I teach, the SRR. You can see right here, this is a weekly SRR for Microsoft, new R right here. So what price is doing is kind of coming down to this area, trying to push up. If it does push up, fantastic. Likelihood there's a high chance it will, because this is the source of the breakout. So there are a lot of kind of orders right here. So there is a huge chance that you might actually do that. But when it comes up, I would say this area here would be a crucial area to decide on whether it continues going up further or whether it respects and continues its way down. This is for Microsoft on the bigger picture perspective. Now, if you look at the next one, which is Tesla, Tesla has been, um, I would say, showing not very good signs. After this week, it actually broke below this support right here. So I would say that it has a chance to go down, but this area right here was also respected. There's actually a small minus support right here. Okay, so this area here seems like it's respected. So I want to see whether Tesla can actually continue to um, stay within this level right here. Currently, it looks like it's going to be playing sideways along this area right here. If it does maintain that, fantastic. But if it breaks this area right here, then I would say it's likely going to go down until this next area right here. So this is Tesla for you. What else do we have? Amazon. I believe that I've not gone through Amazon yet. Amazon, wow, these last 3 days, 1, 2, 3, taking a very big gap down. That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, but anyways, one of the reasons is because of the earnings, right? You can see that the surprise is actually quite bad. It actually did not meet expectations. Estimate was 1.97. However, there was a 0.02 report. Sorry, it was short by 0.02, 1% short on the revenue. So that's the reason why it kind of, oh, sorry, on the earnings, that's the reason why it kind of went down. However, looking from the weekly perspective, this candle seems pretty scary. Came all the way down to, let's see, this area here before bouncing back up. This is going to be quite a big resistance for Amazon, because even if it does go back up, it needs to fill up this gap. And since this is the source of the breakout, this area here is very important. It needs to break above this area before it can continue higher. Failure to do so, it will continue to come back down. Let's see what else we have. We have also Nvidia. Nvidia looking like it's pretty good. You can see right here exactly at some of my key levels that I just marked right here. Bounce off this level of support and working through this as well. If I look at it from the weekly perspective, you can see big what do you call this, wick right here pushing upwards. So I would say that Nvidia looks to be pretty decent, like what SPY looks as well, as long as it stays between this level. Wick doesn't matter, as long as it stays between this level, playing between here, it's still in pretty good shape. Now I want to look at another stock that has been taking a massive beating just like Microsoft, which is Palantir. And you can see right here, I do foresee that Palantir has a very huge chance of going down even more until at least this area right here, because you can see that this area has already been broken and the support here has been broken, and the next available support is right here, right? So this is a resistance breakout pump. This area will come back here, this area becomes a support. So there's a high chance that Palantir would actually head back down to this area before hopefully keeping to the structure and continuing its way back up here. So it's something that you want to take note of if you are actually holding Palantir shares, or if you're intending to get into some Palantir, you know where to look at. What are some key areas to look at? Yeah, I would say that's about it. Anything else that I missed? Let's look at gold and Bitcoin just for the fun of it. Okay. So right here we have gold, and right here as you can see, gold. Okay, I'm just gonna clear off all these drawings to make it a little bit easier for everyone. So as you can see right here, this is the weekly support. This is the weekly resistance. What has gold done is it has touched the weekly support and then headed back to the weekly resistance. So we need to see if gold wants to go higher. It definitely has to break through this weekly resistance, continue its way up. But if it doesn't, it's going to go back down. Right here, you can see this is this area here. It rejected this area last week because of this doji candle, which is again the support that's been broken out. This area here becomes a resistance. That's why it came back down. So you need to be careful because right now as it's approaching the weekly resistance again, you want to see whether this area is able to break out or not. If it does, then it's only able to go up higher. If it doesn't, it's going to come back down to the weekly support. And one of the things that you want to look at is DXY as well, because right now the US dollar has strengthened quite a bit, pushing up from this level right here all the way to this area. And right now it's at the resistance. So being at a resistance, support breakout, here becomes a resistance, right? So being at a resistance is a crucial area to determine what's going to happen for the US dollar index. If it actually respects this resistance, it's going to hit back down. So when DXY goes down, anything else that is inversely proportionate to it, like gold, right, will tend to rise, which is why it has a chance of gold has a chance of going up higher. We also do have BTC, which right now is kind of like in a wildcard position, but I would say that BTC does also have a chance to rise. Now, let me show you why I say so. Let's go over to Bitcoin, and you can see right here that if I look at it from the weekly perspective, you can see very clearly that, or even the monthly is even a better indication, right? You can see this area here has been very, very solid. Why? I mentioned this before. This is a S, R, R, new R. Price came down here, rejected off this area. Right now is at this resistance. Now it needs to decide on what's going to happen. Now, ideal situation is that Bitcoin pushes off this area and closes in the monthly candle. Obviously, the monthly candle is still 20 days to close, but if it does close above here, I would say that Bitcoin does have a nice indication that it wants to continue its way back up. But if it doesn't, let me see. There's actually lots of resistance that it needs to break through before it can actually hit back up. The first one would be this one right here. Next one would be this one right here. So yeah, and then I think this one right here as well. So a lot of resistance that he has to do in order to break, go all the way up. Let's see. Yeah, even this one right here on top here. This one all RSS, new S. All right, this one right here is also an RSS. Okay, new S not formed yet, but on the way to be formed. So all these are areas that can reject and cause it to head back downwards. Right over here, this is also a support that's been broken out. So this area here also becomes a resistance. So this area is also pretty important for Bitcoin to overcome before it can go up higher. So that's what I see for now, guys. Hopefully this is able to help you guys out a little bit. I'm not going to be editing this video because it's a last minute recording that I've done, showing you guys what I see in the technical perspective. But hopefully this is useful for you as well, as you prepare yourself for the coming week ahead. Again, lots of volatility, lots of different news coming in. So if you are investing, I would say just focus on investing in good companies, right? Especially those companies that have been taking a beating. Maybe this is time for you to add some positions, or even take some new positions if you have yet to do so. I'm not going to talk too much about crypto because crypto is very much a wild west. I'm just talking about referring more to the MAG7 companies and stuff like that, right? So focus on strong fundamental businesses, um and you will not have anything to worry about. Right now, I personally am sitting on a little bit more cash, so therefore, when the opportunity strikes, which is kind of like now, I would be, taking some positions as well to some of these stocks, not necessarily individual stocks, might be also some ETFs as well, right? So I'll see how, but again, hopefully this is able to give you some perspective on what I'm seeing. All right, with that said, guys, remember to like and subscribe because this really helps the channel out. And also, if you want to see how I actually get $1,000 days, just click the video somewhere around here, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye bye.